Okay, so after getting a good understanding of what is LLM or a large language model, it's time to understand two more terms or two technologies, I would say. One is called prompt engineering and other is fine tuning. So it's quite important from generative AI or LLM perspective that you have some understanding around what is prompt engineering and what is fine tuning, right? Let's take a look. So prompt engineering. First of all, remember prompt, right? Prompt is like an input, right? So it says the practice of crafting inputs to generative AI model to elicit the best possible output, right? So it is saying it's a practice of crafting or practice of creating inputs or prompts, right? Prompts are like inputs. Think about it like inputs to a generative AI model to get the best possible output. So always remember in Gen AI, we say that if your input is crap, your output would be crap, right? If your input is good, your output would be good. So with prompt engineering, you are actually testing different ways, right? So now there could be one way in which you say, okay, what is an antibiotic, or give me some details about antibiotic, or you could specify one prompt could be you specify some lines about antibiotic and say, is my understanding correct? Yeah. Or you could say, can you just summarize it, right? This is another type of prompt. So these are the different prompts, and by different prompts and by different outputs, your model is actually improving over time, right? So remember, prompt engineering, it's a practice, right? It's a practice or it's a technology by which you create inputs for Gen AI system to give the best possible output, right? So it includes using specific keywords, structured sentences, and including examples to guide the AI. So at the end of the day, you're training your model, right? You are maturing the model. So the various techniques you can use is you can give specific keywords, you can make structured sentences, like I gave you an example, like you specify certain sentences for, let's say, antibiotic and say, is my understanding correct? Or you could say, can you summarize it for me, right? So these are the various ways and you can actually train your model. So the purpose is to maximize AI's understanding of the task and to generate more accurate, relevant, and creative responses, right? So it should be that the prompt that you're giving, the AI system should be able to understand, to process, and then generate the human text for you. So that is the complete purpose, right? So the generative AI should be more accurate and it should give you relevant and creative responses. So in terms of adaptability, it requires an understanding of how the AI interprets different prompts and the ability to adjust them based on the desired outcome. So here comes the concept of context, right? We talked about the bank of the river or the river or the money in the bank, right? Bank word is same, but it knows the context, right? So it needs to adapt based on the context of the requirement, right? So the good thing about prompt engineering is it can be utilized by both novice or experts. Like novice, you can say who are not very trained people, like new people, they might use trial and error. So novice guy would definitely use trial and error. So you give some prompt, you get the output, maybe you're not happy, then you work on your prompt and you give another prompt and probably you get good results. So this is more of like trial and error, and a novice or a new guy would actually use or an untrained professional would use this concept. But experts know how to play with the prompts, right? They will give such an accurate prompt or such an accurate input that they get a very accurate and creative output, right? So they may use sophisticated methods to which is based on the understanding of the model. Now, next concept is fine tuning. So if I ask you in general, if you have say background of IT, what is fine tuning? Fine tuning is nothing but you can say you are optimizing the performance, right? Optimize the performance. That's as simple as that. And that's all the concept of fine tuning is, right? So the process of adjusting a pre-trained Gen AI model to better suit the specific tasks or data, right? So you're fine tuning it, you're refining it, you're optimizing the performance of your Gen AI model, right? So this is called fine tuning. So as I always say, data is the key here. So it involves training the AI on a particular data set to refine its response to be more in line with that of the data's characteristics. So again, with data, two things really matter. One is, I always say, the quality of the data and the quantity of the data. So if obviously your quality is crap, you will get output as crap, right? If you that's where we talk about the large language models and all, because they are trained on huge amounts of data, internet scale of data, right? Large number of books, say websites, Wikipedia. So all this these are done. So yes, when we talk about fine tuning, it does require more computational resources and technical knowledge. Obviously, you will need because you have to do a lot of things in parallel. You have to generate a lot of your training data is quite huge. So you would need more computational resources and technical knowledge than prompt engineering, right? Customization, it enables the creation of custom AI that can perform better on specialized tasks. So as we studied that there are either pre-trained models or they are custom models. Here we are saying you're actually working on the real customization where you are creating your custom AI, which can perform as per your use case. Remember, fine tuning is not one time. So it is a continuous process, right? You keep on doing it. You keep on improving your model, right? So we will study later that prompt engineering and fine tuning actually go hand in hand. So remember, it's a continuous process. It's not a one-time process. And the models may require periodic updates as they're exposed to new data, right? As you are exposing the model to new data, so obviously the model has to improve over time, right? And yes, we studied about overfitting. Overfitting is nothing but where we say that the model performs well with the training data, but as soon as some new data is given, and then it fails to give the right results. So with fine tuning, there is a risk that the model may perform exceptionally well on training data, but fail to generalize on the new set of data or unseen prompts, right? So that's why I'm saying prompt engineering and fine tuning go hand in hand. So if let's say you haven't trained your model on specific prompts, and as somebody gives us very specific prompt which the model is not aware of, then it can give you inaccurate results, and which is something you wouldn't want as a data scientist, right? So quite important, both techniques are crucial for optimizing the performance of Gen AI models in various applications. They are used in tandem, right? So which means they are used together, or both go hand in hand, as I said, hand in hand, right? So fine tuning they are often used in tandem. So fine tuning can provide a better baseline performance. So it says if you're doing fine tuning, then you are getting a better baseline performance, right? Because as I said, you are optimizing your performance. That's whole concept of fine tuning. But with prompt engineering, it can optimize the individual interaction, right? With prompt engineering, you are guiding your model to the right kind of output, right? So with prompt engineering, it can optimize the individual interaction. So it is coming to know, or it is getting more knowledge on what kind of different prompts the user can ask, what kind of inputs a user can have. So it's very important that the model is trained on that. So remember, both techniques are important for optimizing the performance and both work in tandem. So this we come to the end of prompt engineering and fine tuning. Thanks for watching.